Tonight's gonna be a bit of a tough topic. I've kind of been beaten around the bush on this one. We've lost somebody close in our family very tragically. He took his own life and just came out of the blue, and I'm just still numb and I'm still in shock from it. As all of us. Um, there was really hardly any signs. There was no signs, and guys, like, with my testimonies where I've talked about it, I've shown signs and I've reached out for help, but if there's anyone on here who is struggling, who just has that in their head and they're not talking to anybody about it, you don't want to talk to anybody about it, talk to God. At least talk to God. At most, talk to God. God cares and He will hear you. He won't judge you. He won't beat you down. He will support you. He'll carry you. He won't support your decision to end things. But I'm sure I can't be the judge of anything. I can't say whether you'd go to heaven or hell for that, but I'm sure God will be understanding. I know God will fight for life, though. That's for darn sure. God will always fight for life, and He will fight for you. And I'm here. I'm not a licensed therapist. I recommend if you have ability to get therapy, go get therapy. Number one, go find a good therapist. If you're struggling trying to find a therapist, keep bouncing around until you find the right one, but keep going. I know life seems horrible right now. I know it seems like a good choice, but don't do that to the people who do love you. And there are people out there who love you, even when you don't see it or feel it, or it's not the love from them that you want, or whatever it might be. It'll get better. It will. I promise you it will. I wouldn't lie to you. I got scars on the back. You can't really see them, but I got scars on the back of my hand. I had a plan and I was 5 minutes away and I cried out to the Lord. I was like, God, this is where I'm at and I need help. And I gave it all to Him and He was like, it's gonna be hard. And sometimes life has to be hard. You know, without all the hard, crappy things we have to go through in life, would we really be able to appreciate the good or be grateful for it? You know, back in 23 or started 24, whenever I was playing that, I can't think right now. I don't think I would have even believed me if I told myself, like, look, you're gonna succeed, you're gonna make it, you're gonna be doing taekwondo, you're gonna start going to church, you're gonna be working at Hamsky still, and you're gonna find a wonderful trade. And it's not like the constant popular blue collar construction trades. There's many trades. You, I didn't know nothing about CNC. When I was on my performance improvement plans and we were talking about goals, I feel like it was God who put the CNC on my heart. Um, and I wanted to just get into research and development at Hamsky, and I'm not an archer myself. I just saw our design team designing the cool products on the computer. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that. Nah, I mean, I get to participate in it, and we're not working on nothing right now, but I've got to participate in stuff. We're working on the stuff we're working on, bringing you the same quality products. We'll just say that, you know. But anyways, I didn't know nothing about the machines, the lathes, the mills, the six-figure Tsugamis with their crazy expensive high-pressure pumps and bar feeders and their conveyor chip conveyors, you know. That might be a bit much lingo for those of you guys who may not know those, but you guys should look up like Tsugami MO8, Tsugami SS38, Haas Super Mini Mill 2, some of that stuff that we worked with. You know, I started doing small projects on the Haas Mini Mill, which is like a $20,000-$30,000 machine. And I'm getting to a point now where I'm getting the clear error codes on the Tsugamis when they get high pressure pump alarms or bar feeders. Like I came in today, two red lights, and with barely experience, like our head machinist Dietrich showed me a little bit on clearing them and resetting them and getting back to working, and you know, and that's I came in and I busted butt. I busted butt on the 38, SS38, got that going on the MO8. It's making some pretty cool parts. And yeah, cleared him out, and he seemed to be pretty proud of that. Anyways, my point is like, maybe sometimes, even if you don't believe in God, if you believe in the universe or life in general, whatever it is, maybe sometimes we're just meant to go through tough trials, to go through rough things. Maybe sometimes we're in a place where we're being pushed to the point where things are really hard, and killing yourself ain't the answer. You are a very special, very, very special, unique person. I was talking to my mom about it tonight. My mom and her boyfriend Max, and we were talking about it. And we were talking a little bit about their experience. And for the first time, I felt comfortable opening up to mom about my plans. About a year or so later, after being better, and I've been in a gray funk, and that's just sometimes in life. Sometimes you feel good, sometimes you feel bad, but that void, that chasm will never be able to be filled. There will never ever be such a special, wonderfully, fearfully created person like you. Even if you believe in the Big Bang, I believe in the Big Bang, but I believe God started the Big Bang when he said that let there be light. But anyways, even if you are an atheist and believe you're just stardust, you're still stardust. You're still dust that came together in such a wonderful, specific way that made you. There will never ever be another you. They'll have your personality, your characteristics, your dreams, your desires, your humor, your laugh, your smile, your beautiful face, your wonderful body. Even if you're ugly and got crater face like I got going on, which you're not ugly. I think I'm ugly, but I meant that in a way as if you thought you were ugly. You're not. You know? So what? So what if NASA mistaked my face for the moon and landed a couple lunar rovers on there? I got a couple lunar roving vehicles now. Little comedian over here. Can roast myself, but there will never ever be another person like you. Ever. Don't don't leave this world. That ain't the answer. Even if you can't talk to anybody about it, talk to God, talk to Jesus, even if you don't believe. Even if you're just talking cynical and need to talk with those feelings, I'm telling you, God is very, very, very real, and He will still listen and help you. I highly recommend going to God with whatever it is you're struggling with. God will help you. God will probably be like, first of all, it's a stupid decision what you're planning. Don't do that. Secondly, it might be a little hard to get out of this rut, but you can do it. And they'll be right here with you every step of the way. Even if you don't want to go to God or a therapist, even if you just talk to me, some random internet stranger, I'll be with you. I'll reach out. I'll try my best to remember to reach out and talk to you. Again, I'm not a licensed therapist, so don't put me as a role as a licensed therapist. Go get therapy, or a real therapy, not like BetterHelp online stuff. I wouldn't really trust that stuff, though I haven't looked into it. I went to North Range Behavioral Help. Been going there for a long time, ever since like middle school, high school, for my autism and ADHD. And crazy to believe, I know people say that's not how neurodivergency works, but as I grow up, my brain develops more, and I'm getting on lower doses of meds over time. Like, those guys are, woo! Like, if you got North Range where you're at, and you can get there, I've even seen some of the the low income payment options they do. I'm blessed by the Lord to be on Medicaid. Um, so I can just go and reach out and get help, but it's still, your life's worth it. Even getting into that debt just to save yourself, it's so worth it because your life is priceless. So priceless that God Himself, because I know God, the Spirit, and the Son are one. It's like how we have mind, body, and soul, or spirit, body, and soul, something like that. And we're connected, but they're also separate pieces in a way. God humbled Himself before man, because Jesus is God in the form of man. God became man, came to here to earth, and humbled Himself to be the final sacrifice, to let our arrogant, sinful butts torment Him, beat Him down, flog Him, spit on Him, mock Him, literally do all these horrible things that you might find in an R-rated movie like Saw, but even 10 times worse than that, and nail Him to a cross, a God who could have easily wiped us clean out and sent us to the deepest pit of hell, loved us so much that He's like, I want these people with me, I want a relationship with them. Came here and became the final sacrifice. That's why I think in Old Testament they sacrificed animals. Was the animal was gonna take the punishment for our sin, but God's like, no, I'm gonna take. He took every sin all at once, past, present, and future. God still created you, knowing that you were gonna sin and sin some horrible sins. He still created me. He told me tonight when I was in a bit overwrought arguing with him about relationships and romance and not wanting it. There's a lot of reason for my depression was I fell too hard for a girl and she didn't reciprocate. And respectfully, everybody has their own choice, but I took it too hard. I became too connected. We got these chemicals in our brain, that really, like, they're designed to bond with the people. Even if you don't believe in it spiritually or the way God does it too, with like soul ties and spiritual stuff, but just our physical chemicals can be so powerful that like you can bond over somebody super quickly and go crazy and they not reciprocate and just say, hey, I'm not feeling that, or be like in my case I made her feel uncomfortable and kind of scared her away, I'd say. But even those chemicals, and sometimes I still struggle with thinking about her. She pops on my mind here and there, and I don't know why. I still don't understand why our brains are so complicated like that. But, you have a purpose for being here. You have a will. Think about it like this. Whatever you're going through that's tough, that's hard, that's making you feel this way, this is the way I think about it. I think about a blacksmith trying to forge a wonderful weapon, a weapon for the gods, like something like out of a video game or something where it's really fine crafted. He has to hammer that, he has to beat it, he has to heat it up. He puts tons of times, hours, maybe even days, weeks, months of time into that weapon, forging it, shaping it, heating it up, hammering out impurities. And at the end of it, you have this beautifully crafted, powerful, sharp weapon, like a sharp sword or a battle axe. I'm imagining something made out of, call it like magnesium, titanium, shiny, bright metal, beautiful, like Viking or Nordic engraving with white ivory handles. Something so powerful. And when it's used, it makes its foes, its enemies, shudder beneath it when they see it before it's even swung. Or maybe a powerful hammer used to make some wonderful things in the world, to put together some beautiful, beautiful structures. We all have a purpose, and I'm not saying that we are tools. I'm using the example, and that's sometimes maybe what these hard things are for. But don't give up. Don't give up. You light that fire inside of you. Okay? And this truth is going to be hard. I don't want to sound like a punk when I'm saying this, but it is only up to one person. Do you know who that person is who can fix that situation, that life? It's not me. It's not God. We can help. But it is ultimately you who makes that decision. So you gotta think, if you're sounding impressed, am I trying enough? Am I working enough? And if you're trying and you're working enough and things aren't changing, keep going. Because that's the way you make things change. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you need to be the blacksmith that steps up and forges your life into what you want it to be. Don't quit on that sword. Don't quit on that project. Don't quit on your life. Alright? You have to be a warrior. You have to be a warrior. Why else, would humans be so strong, so smart, so adaptable, so much to a point that we could take dominion over the entire world, become the top of the food chain, do things like build airplanes that break the sound barrier, do things like put men on a whole nother celestial body 3 days time away from here, to put a vehicle on that moon that you can drive around, to send probes to Venus, to Mars. We are living in such wonderful times and not everything's perfect. We are, as a species of humanity, are responsible for our own wickedness and our own wicked choices. Don't let that get you. Keep going. Keep innovating. Keep trying. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing. If that's not working, try something else. But let me tell you, ending things is not the answer. And I hate to say it like this as well, but shame on you for thinking that is. Shame on you for thinking that ending things is, because all you're going to do is bring a whole lot more hurt from that. Alright? I hate to be mean and say shame on you, because maybe that's something I didn't want to hear when I was going through it. But when I reached out about it, sometimes people had to be like, shame on you, Tyler. Shame on you. You're not even trying. You're trying to make us all responsible for your life. And I'm not saying that's everybody. I don't know your situation. But I do know this. You keep going, you're going to do some wonderful things. Focus on the good things in life. Find good things in life. Do what you can do. Maybe sometimes it's not always about a quick fix, but putting in that time and effort to forge something really, truly beautiful. But don't leave us here. Don't leave us here without you. We need you in this world. I need you in this world. Okay? I need you in this world. If you leave, I'm going to cry. I'm going to have a void in my heart that will never be filled, even if I didn't know you. Even if you were a stranger to me, I would still cry over you leaving. So don't do that. Keep fighting. Prove to the world, prove to your situation, look at it like this. Your depression's an enemy coming, and you gotta forge that battle axe. And that battle axe, and forging it, and making that battle axe, and swinging it, is you trying. You being like, okay, this ain't gonna work. Let's try this. See how this works. Okay, this is kind of getting somewhere. I've learned a little bit from here. Now let's apply what I've learned and try this. Oh, hey, this really works. And next thing you know, you've got your depression under your foot, and you're going forth. Life is not always meant to be easy. Life's not always meant to cater to you and make every day sunshine and rainbows. How would you be able to enjoy the good if sometimes you didn't hurt a little? I wouldn't be able to enjoy CNC if I didn't go through the trials at Hamsky of having to grow and mature as a person. They wouldn't have trusted me with those expensive machines. Are you kidding me with how I used to act? They would not have trusted me with those expensive machines. I guarantee you I would have crashed out all those Tsugamis and costed the company hundreds of thousands of dollars. All those machines put together, if you sold those, you could buy a house, a decent house, like a Colorado kind of house, a nice place, like a nice house in the neighborhood I live in kind of house. They would not have trusted me with those. I come from rough beginnings too. Not everything's always perfect for me, and life's not always going to be perfect. So what? That's your calling right there, to light a fire and be like, no, I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to give up. This ain't the answer. Keep going. You could have gone through some really horrible, horrible crap. I don't know what you've gone through. But you gotta look at that situation. You gotta keep fighting, man. 'Cause imagine how much good things will get. If you went through some really horrible crap and you keep going, imagine things on the opposite spectrum that match that horribleness, but on the good side, that get just as good, if not even better. Imagine that being right around the corner. Right around the corner, and you choose to live, and the next day things start getting better. Things start turning up your way. Even if you don't follow the God, keep going. I highly recommend you pick up your Bible, though. This is some wonderful wisdom. You don't have to believe in God. I recommend starting with the Gospels. I recommend Psalms. I recommend Proverbs. I recommend the whole thing of this. You don't have to believe in God to read this. Okay? You can read this like any other book. You can pick up whatever you need from this book. You don't have to believe in God to read this, but I highly recommend you do. I highly recommend you go to Jesus, submit, and give your life to Him, because, once you do that, you can look your situations in the face and say, you can look this situation, whatever's trying to bring you down, you can look that in the face and say, fuck you. Fuck you, I'm gonna keep going. You're not gonna kill me. I'm gonna push you out of the way, and I'm gonna mature, and I'm gonna grow, and I'm gonna be a big, beautiful flower that won't shrivel up and die, that won't be cut down. You could look right back at that situation, especially with God on your side. You know, when you get God on your side, that makes you unpredictable. That makes you powerful. That makes you scary. That makes you so scary and powerful. With whatever situation's trying to hold you down, whatever tragic or hurtful situation, you get God on your side, it's over for that situation. You are gonna blossom. End of discussion. I believe it's... God, can you help me here? I want to give him the scripture you gave me in Jeremiah. I believe 29:11. And God has a plan for you, whether you believe in them or not. God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me, come to me and pray to me, and I will listen to you." Guys, sometimes God's plans for you, sometimes God's plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future, sometimes means we have to go through hard things in life. Because sometimes it's those hard things in life that kills off the worst qualities, that kills off the bad things that hold us back, and it nurtures and grows the best in us. You know? Think about like this, a community that's divided, that's hateful, that's crappy to each other. And a Category 5 hurricane comes and rips them apart. You know, a beautiful thing can come out of that. And that community is like, hey, we're all in the same crappy situation. Let's come together. Screw our differences. Screw what we were fighting over. Sometimes in the darkest of situations, sometimes in the deepest, hardest pressures, gems are made. Diamonds, emeralds, rubies, whatever be it, whatever gem you want to be, go be a real gem to this world. You're a gem to me just by being here. Sometimes the toughest of situations, sometimes going through depression or a tragic situation is what's needed to bring out the best in us and to bring out the best in our lives. God bless you all. Talk to me, talk to God, talk to somebody if you're struggling. Do not fight this on your own. Get some help if you need some help. Alright? It's always good to build a good support system, and there are good people out there. Contrary to popular beliefs that this world's a mess, there are really good people out there. I should have been fired many times from Hamsky for how I acted, and yet I'm still working there, and yet they trust my crazy butt around all those high dollar machines. And it's crazy. It's crazy how good things can get. Life's a roller coaster. Don't take it too seriously. Don't let tomorrow worry about tomorrow. Worry about what you can do right here, right now, and today. God bless you all, and I love you all.